Minglawa, this is the weekly highlight news of Radio NUG. I'm James. Here are the news highlights for this week. The acting president of the National Unity Government delivered a speech for the New Year's State of the Union address. 2 more political prisoners died in prison due to insufficient medical treatment. More than 6 million Myanmar children lost access to healthcare and education after the military coup, and other interesting news. These are the weekly news details. The acting president of the National Unity Government, His Excellency Duwa Lashi, delivered the State of the Union address for the new year on 31st of December. The acting president said during the speech that even in times of resistance warfare, we must all understand that we cannot behave in the same way as the fascist army. The opposition to the dictatorship is able to avoid action in any way like a dictatorship. In the resistance warfare, we must also adhere to a legitimate military code of conduct. The international community's code of military ethics must be followed and respected, the acting president continued. The Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the National Unity Government, m.CDMMyanmar, made an interview with Radio NUG in January. The Deputy Minister clarified during the interview that they continue to support the regional and international implementation of the One China policy. The One China policy is not unusual. It is a policy that has been employed by a previous governments. Furthermore, he said, this is a policy that support its ongoing implementation because it is a one that is accepted and applied by all parties, both locally and globally. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the NUG announced that its relations with the Chinese government in accordance with the One China principle. The phrase One China policy, as used by the US government, is not the same as the one used by the Chinese government. The former US ambassador to Myanmar, Scott Marshall, tweeted on 4th of January. He stated that the National Unity Government's statement on China is not a concern for Washington. The NUG statement is intended to persuade Beijing that it has an appropriate option. This statement, in my opinion, should not be a source of concern for Washington, he said. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the National Unity Government issued 10-point position statement on China on 1st of January, and particularly, it included the fact that Myanmar would take responsibility for all the treaties signed under the MOU between the two countries, including the border demarcation treaties before the 2021 military coup. The All Myanmar Political Prisoner Network (AAPP) announced on 31st of December that Ko San Lin San, who died on 30th of December in Patain prison, and Macheri Win, who died on 21st of December in insane prison, died due to insufficient access to medical treatment in prison. The prison officers from the prison department and the terrorist military council treated the prisoner as enemies and committed a number of the crimes against them. Every human being has the right to live. Currently, those in prisons are losing their right to live. AAPP Steering Committee member Ko Tai Thong told the MPA news agency that people who need of emergency treatment are still not allowed to receive treatment. He continued to explain that the terrorist military council is violating prisoner human rights in prison, that there are seasonal illness in prisons across the country, and that the prison department only provides one kind of paracetamol tablet and denies them access to medical treatment. According to the AAPP list, 17 political prisoners died in 2023 as a result of the insufficient medical treatment in prison across the country. According to a report by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs (UNOCHA), more than 6 million children are facing insufficient food and malnutrition, as well as interrupted healthcare and education as a consequence of Myanmar's military takeover. This was included in the release of the Myanmar's Humanitarian Needs and Response Plan (HNRP) for 2024. According to UNOCHA, The situation for children in Myanmar is 90 times worse than before the coup. Most of these children also need to be protected from various dangers, including protection risks, including forced recruitment as a soldier and mandate distress. It is reported that this situation reflects the disquieting humanitarian situation in Myanmar almost 3 years after the 2021 military coup. Furthermore, 18.3 million people in Myanmar require humanitarian assistance, accounting for nearly a third of the nation's population and over a million more than a previous year. More than 2 million people have already been displaced as a result of the military coup, according to UN estimates. The German embassy in Myanmar also stated that the number of people fleeing their homes has increased as a result of their terrorist military council response to the 1027 operation, while the need for the humanitarian assistance in Myanmar has increased. These are the weekly highlight news of Radio NUG. We will present more interesting weekly local news to you. Thanks for joining our news.